Is Matt Doherty Wolves' most underrated player ever? The bloke, he's got to be an unsung hero at this point, right? An absolute legend. I just wanted to do a tribute video to him, to be honest. He just come to me. And I thought, how has this bloke not had his own song for a start? How was he not more applauded by our fan base? I don't get it. The service he's given to this club is unbelievable. So let's go back trip down memory lane. His youth career was at Bohemians over in Ireland. And he got rejected by about 10 English clubs and Scottish clubs when he went on trial with them around that age, around 17, 18. And then he played against Wolves in a friendly in July, 17th of July 2010. He was 18 years old at the time. Our scout really liked him. Obviously, Mick McCarthy was manager. And ironically, in that friendly, when Wolves played Bohemians on their Ireland pre-season tour, he had a really bad game. He had a stinker against Wolves. So he was just like, yeah, that's that then. But then a few days later, he actually got a call from Wolves. Wolves called Bohemians and said, yeah, we want him. We want him. Send him over to us. And as I said, 18 years of age, young Irish lad, never been out of Ireland, and apart from when he's been on trials with other clubs. And he found himself signing for a Premier League club. His senior debut was in the FA Cup against Doncaster Rovers 5 months after signing. It was a 2-2 draw, and that he got his first taste of first team football for Wolves. And after a few League Cup appearances, he made his debut at Anfield against Liverpool on the 24th of September 2011. He was only 19 years of age at the time, and I was in the away end for this game. I remember it quite clearly. We lost 2-1. I remember him coming on a sub, and everyone was like, who's this? Who's this new lad? 19 years of age. Obviously, we were kind of aware of him because of his League Cup and FA Cup appearances, but he had a really good debut as well. He was solid. So I think that was like a very good introduction into the team for Mick McCarthy. Obviously was really impressed, but he did end up going out. He had 2 loan spells, one at Hibernian and one at Bury, who obviously don't exist anymore, to get some of that first team men's experience. And he eventually come back, and then he was in the team, and he has been in this Wolves team through the double dip relegation, obviously out of the Premier League, then down to League One. He was vital in the League One team that come back up under Kenny Jackett. Unbelievable. If you think back to him at left back in that team under Kenny Jackett in League One, he was incredible. Obviously, he's played left back, right back. He was up and down in his early days, like a real. You when you think of him now, you can't imagine it, but he was like so good at getting forward and scoring goals. Obviously, we've seen it a lot under Nuno as well, and that was probably the best part of his career. When obviously he was vital for Kenny Jackett, always in the team through that weird era when Fosun brought us under like Paul Lambert and all the, Walter Zenga, all that. He was always in and around it. Ultimate professional, very reliable, isn't he, Doherty? A 7 out of 10 at least every game. But then when Nuno comes in and he starts playing right wing back, wow, he's just a monster, isn't he? He's getting assists, goals. I mean, to this day, I don't think Semedo's ever emulated Doherty when he was in his prime under Nuno in terms of goals and assists. Gets promoted with Wolves in them 2 Premier League seasons. When we get to that FA Cup semi-final, obviously he scored the opener against Watford, didn't he, in that game, the header. His goals and assists were the best for a right wing back around that period, apart from Trent Alexander-Arnold. That just shows how good he was in that period. Always scoring, always contributing, and he was the most ever reliable. And you've got to remember his last-minute winner as well at Molineux against Manchester City, 2-0 down. He gets the winner in a famous 3-2 win. What a player. He eventually did leave for £13.4 million for Tottenham Hotspur. He spent 3 years there, and I'll be honest, they didn't really take to him at Spurs. He was in and out. They didn't really rate him, I don't think, the Spurs fans. But maybe that level, because at the time, obviously, Spurs were pushing for Europe. Maybe being at a club like that just didn't suit him, because eventually, 2.5 years in, they cancelled his contract and he went to Atletico Madrid, only made 2 appearances there. And then we signed him on a free. And I remember when we signed him on a free, it was to mixed emotions in the summer of 2023. It was mixed emotions. And I was thinking, oh my God, we sold him for 13.4 million. We've got him back for free. The blokes, it's like, what did we sign him for? It was probably the thousands from Bohemians, wasn't it? It was probably like 50,000, whatever it was. And then we just made all that money on him. He's come back. And at first, when he come back, he made his debut in the League Cup against Blackburn. We won 5-0, scored 2 goals straight away. He's in there showing Semedo how it's done, scoring 2. And then, under O'Neill, And, you know, he was in and out, wasn't he? He was more of a cover at right wing back and left wing back. He scored his first Premier League goal back against Chelsea. Was it that Christmas Eve game, wasn't it? The great little finish there. But the bloke, he's been unbelievable. And I'll be honest, when he come back, I just thought, yeah, he's always going to be back up. And then when Vitor Pereira comes in around Christmas time recently, he puts him right centre back against Leicester. And I've been insulting towards Doherty, because in my video I did a few weeks ago about our best defenders, I'm like, yeah, Doherty will only be there short term. He's not a centre back. And I think I've not been, you know, that's unfair. He is our main right centre back. He has made a new position his own again. He's gone from a left back in a 4-4-2 back in the day, played right back in a 4-4-2. Then he's been left wing back. He's been right wing back under Nuno, and now he's got this new position as a right centre back. And you know what? He started off as a striker in his youth career, and that makes sense because he's actually a really good finisher. He really is. And yeah, he cemented it. Right centre back. And I think next season, if Semedo leaves and Cunha leaves, he's got to be a contender to be Wolves captain next season. He's been at the club on and off for 15 years now, 2010 to 2025. Obviously, he had a 3-year gap where he left, but what a legend and what a servant. And we should have a song for him. He should have his own song, and we should be singing it every week. He just keeps himself to himself, doesn't he? And he can qualify for a testimonial for Wolves. Legend gets thrown about a lot, but you've got to say Matt Doherty is a modern day Wolves legend. What a player. And he just come to me. I was thinking about it, and I think people forget how much he's actually done for this club and how much of a great servant he's actually been. So yeah, comment your thoughts down below on Matt Doherty and his career. Our main right centre back now under Vitor. He's in our strongest back three. He might not be next season. Giga might come in. We don't know what's going to happen, but he's been solid this season. Chipped in with a goal recently away at Chelsea. He's putting solid performance away at Bournemouth. Had one little blip the weekend, but it was solid. And he's always put solid performances against Villa recently, Man United. What a player. And I just thought I'd bow down to Matt Doherty, give him his props, and say thank you for your service and you're a legend. Please like the video. Please comment your thoughts down below on Matt Doherty and his fantastic Wolves career. And I'll catch you next video. Cheers, everyone.